Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but man's keep walking. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch man, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees, I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chatting the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls let
TV, it is a wonderful May day. Heck, it's the first show of May. It's beautiful today. I was just walking around earlier. We have a great show planned for you today, starting off, as always, with Sarah Weber, the brain cleanup coach. She's going to talk about being serious. Following that, we have Erica continuing her Oh Dear art sessions. And then at 5 o'clock, I'm back with another songwriting session. Don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I don't know. I've been on like a responsibility kick, so maybe it'll be something about responsibility, or maybe it'll be about food. I don't know. After that, we have a potentially new Be Wise Gardens, and then rounding out at the 6 o'clock hour, we have a brand new episode of My Idaho Friends featuring Sean Wainwright from Phoenix Fire Games. Closing out the night, we have a good body session for you to really tire you out right before you go to bed from Kvell Fitness. Thank you so much for joining us here at Argos TV. You can always find old episodes on our Vimeo, YouTube, or at argostv.stream, and enjoy the show.
Focus, okay.
We're going to take a few moments just to breathe and hold that image in our minds.
Sarah, I can hear the birds. I can totally hear the birds. I think I can sense them. I think they can sense me. Oh, they know I'm playing with them. Do you hear them? Do you hear them? Like you're here.
Imagine a scene from your future that you want to have happen.
Wow, you look super zen.
Hi, I'm Sarah Weber, the brain cleanup coach, and this is your 10-minute mindset fix on being serious. Now, this concept came to mind because of a client that I've been working with in a conversation we were having on professionalism and looking unprofessional. And it just brought to mind seriousness, like what we give serious consideration to in our lives, or what we label as serious. Now, there are a lot of serious things happening in the world, and there is nothing wrong with labeling something as serious. Seriousness is like a way that our brain gets our attention, makes us pay attention to something. But we can also start to label things in our life serious that don't necessarily need that label, or giving it that label kind of makes it harder. Makes it harder to deal with that circumstance or scenario in our life. Because here's a metaphor for seriousness. And first of all, let me back up. Seriousness, labeling something as serious is a byproduct of fear. Right? Our brain has labeled something, has deemed something as possibly dangerous. And so it generates some fear, and then we give weight to that thing. We get serious about it. And so using that imagery of weight, it's kind of like when you drop anchor in a ship, right? And it just keeps that ship there in the same place. And the reason our brain does this is to keep us attentive, to keep our attention focused on something. Because when something is lighthearted or carefree, we don't necessarily feel like we need to focus on it, right? It's not serious, but a serious matter, a serious issue requires our attention. But the brain can also get into the habit of labeling lots of things serious. And I'm sure you know some people like this in your life. Maybe it's you that takes a lot of things really, really seriously. Now, this may be partially innate personality, but a lot of that is learned. We learn to be fearful of something, to think that we need to give our attention, to place our attention on it. But there are many situations in life where we truly don't have to take something as seriously as maybe we have learned to or have been prompted to. But it can be kind of hard to extricate yourself from that habit. But it is possible. And one of the first steps to doing that is just recognizing that your brain is suggesting that you take something seriously. But you can ask yourself, well, how serious is this really? Because what happens is our brains, they focus in on something and then they start to create future stories about them. And that's what makes it take it seriously. Any situation, any circumstance happening, whether in our lives or to someone else, we think about, well, what is this going to create in the future? And does this need more of my attention now? Right? And so just recognizing that our brain is giving us that prompt, but do we need to give it the weight that our brain wants us to give it weight to? And if you consciously think about that and the answer is no, then you can pull back a little. You don't need to have your anchor dropped there. You can sail on, and it's okay. So let's go ahead and get into a meditation that just is going to allow us to pull our anchors up. And that's exactly what we're going to visualize. It's just visualizing being stuck in a place, being kind of anchored down by seriousness, but allowing ourselves to pull that anchor up and start at least to free float a little bit again. If nothing else, even if we don't sail away, we're just going to make ourselves a little more buoyant. Okay, and you can, if you want to, recall or call to mind a situation right now in your life that's feeling very serious, but you can ask yourself, do I need to place all this weight, give all this weight and energy to this thing? And it's okay if you answer yes, because sometimes we do need to be serious about things, but maybe there's something in your life that you don't need to be so serious about. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our meditation. Go ahead, we're going to start with 3 deep breaths, eyes open, and on the third exhale, we will close our eyes. We're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth, and go ahead and just do this at the pace that is comfortable for you. Let's begin. Final inhale. Exhale. Close your eyes. You can let your breathing return to normal, but I want you to imagine as you exhale, just releasing that kind of serious tension that can take hold in your body. Feel your chest rise and fall with your breath. And imagine with each exhale, your body's just letting go of some of that tension. There's nothing serious about this moment. You can just let that tension move out of your body with your breath. Now go ahead and bring to mind the image of a boat or a ship, however you see it, on the ocean, and it is anchored in place. And magically, within your body, you can feel this boat and the tug and pull of the ocean and the tides, but it keeps being kept held in place by that anchor. You can feel the tension on the chain. And with the natural currents of life with the ocean, the boat wants to move, but it can't because it's anchored in place. But now we're going to lift the anchor. We're going to pull that anchor up. And as the chain pulls up and the anchor starts to lift from the sea floor, there's a little more buoyancy, a little more freedom. And as that anchor has been being pulled into the body of the boat or the ship, there's even more freedom of movement now. And as that anchor is finally pulled all the way up, that boat or that ship is set adrift now to naturally flow with the currents and the movement of the water of life. Now go ahead and take a deep breath in. Exhale and open your eyes. And take this forward with you today. Maybe recognize any moments where you're getting really serious about something that doesn't necessarily require a serious moment, a lot of weight and attention, but for whatever reason you've learned or your brain has learned to prompt you to pay attention to it and make it serious. The more you can do this and recognize in the moment that you're just making it serious through thinking, the more you can start to pull that anchor up, create a little more buoyancy and movement in your life. Thank you for joining me for this talk and meditation, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.
I see green. I mean, that's okay, right? It's all around me. I'm just observing the world that's around me. It's okay. Don't judge it. Don't judge. Don't judge.
My name is Robert Rangel, and I walk because HD has devastated my family for decades, starting with my grandfather as far back as I knew. It took the life of him and my mother, my sister, my uncle, a cousin, And now today, 2 cousins are in the midst of their demise from Huntington's disease. If I was in a position of just finding out, I would say educate yourself as much as you can. There is so much information now that's available through the HDSA website, which back in my era of dealing with my mom, it was a great unknown. She was not diagnosed until well into her disease. Even doctors didn't know and were just kind of clueless. So there's a lot of information out there now. You don't need to even go to the library. You can pick it up off the web. Educate yourself. Talk about family treatment options. Talk about treatment modalities, medications, short-term strategies, long-term strategies, and also prepare yourself for the fact that it is a 50-50 chance that any of your children will inherit the disease as well.
HDSA Southern Idaho affiliate works towards providing resources for Idaho families.
Hi. I'm just kind of hanging out with my picture. I've refrained from working on it randomly all week long because I'm in the stages of blending. So this is where art gets fun and where you really need to focus more. Sorry, I'm going to end up knocking this over, so I'm going to set it here out of the way, knock over some swan gourds. All right, so if I'm looking at this from your perspective, what needs to happen is I need to bring more of the darks in around the body and then keep blending towards it being kind of gray, but it is going dark because it's essentially, it's dark, and this is just the end of the sun hitting just the bottom is what I'm trying to create. So kind of got my work cut out for me. I'm gonna take some of the really dark black and let's see, come over here really quick just to remind myself that this is a necessary blend as I come back to that. And this is this line that I tried to create that won't let me go too far past that. So I'm just gonna go in here. A little hatching in there. And I might come back in and take this a little lighter. Here, a little gray, so that it matches what's going on right here. Okay, I'm not gonna get too crazy when I'm so close up because I really can't see if I'm making that work from this angle. So I'm going to work on the other stuff that I want to work on as well. I'll take a step back and see if that's starting to create the effect I want. And continue after that. I'll leave that one for the next. Okay, back to this guy. So we got that gray. That seems blending there. Need to come in here and get some more going on here. And this has got to be a little bit more delicate because So this would be a good time for James to throw on some music. No Mortal Kombat this week. Let's do something a little more mellow.
Tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my
Thank you, James.
can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call it past the doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power. I got the keys. Cause I break the chains. They try to hold me. I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom. Major look, huh? Yeah, this one is for the books. All these chances I took still. I move straight on these rooks now. Hold me up or hold me down. Have my back or hold my crown. Either you with me or not, but you better give all you got, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power. I what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in, talk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. They're not double up, but get none of their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted. So I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close. I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke. I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me, they need a blade in a sheath, a shank in a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy, a sea, where they a marine, an ace up they sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razors for teeth, and still they will lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.
With that bad boy tuck, I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need an act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks. Baby stack it to the ceiling, see we ballin' with the sack. No one care till you kill. Life is a bitch and I fuck her like a MILF. It's a dirty, dirty world, gotta keep your face clean. Get pussy, take money, make music, chase dreams. Shawty bend it over, shawty bend it over. Never lied about a thing, but there's some things I never told you. Flow is dope as coke and weed, I'm rolling with the Cosa Nostra. Mind your business, tell them mind your business. Not religious, so don't ever cross me like a line of scrimmage. It's not a gimmick, every single day I live it. Money don't sleep, got it painted by the minute. Money comes, money goes, but I never lose my flow. I ain't messing with these hoes, I stay messing with my bros. Now you messing with a pro, never stressing all the dough. It's a blessing, now I know my team winning is for show. I know my team winning is for show.
What it seemed, I see the murder scene and run up on a spleen. Factual, actual facts that are practical. I'm about to tear you up. Why? I'm an animal, cannibal, Hannibal Lecter. Lie to your face, crime and it pays. Getting very passionate, this love affair's elaborate. Hiding what I do from the members of my cabinet.
That was just for fun. 10? 2. Uh-oh. I am nowhere near where I want to be right now. I think I tried to cover too much black ground to these guys today. Maybe we can get James to help us record another speed drawing this week so that we can get caught up, because there's a lot of work to be done still. And I hate leaving it like this for you guys to see at just this point. I think James is saying something to me. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh yeah, I'll keep going for a little while.
Okay, I'll do that.
So I'm going to keep drawing for a while. I know that we can keep with the wide. We might lose our close-up because I think we got to get set up for Justin in the other room, but thanks for joining me today. We can also do it. Yeah, we can do it.
You're 21, right?
What? Oh, yeah. Just graduated.
Wait, what? Just graduated?
What?
You just said you just graduated.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a call. Yeah, hey, I'm just at JD's getting beer. I know, I can't believe I'm finally 21. I'll call you back.
Let me see your ID. You're 32. Chip. Receipt?
Nah. The beard's fake.
Just go.
Gardens is a family-run boutique garden design firm. They specialize in edible landscapes, habitat gardens, water-wise plants, education, and gardens in containers, all the way to elaborate sanctuaries for your environment and well-being. Let them help you create your dream garden.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me, then I double up again under their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me, they need a blade in a sheath, a shank in a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy at sea, with ace a marine, an ace up their sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they will lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Stop that. I hear 'em chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear 'em chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch man, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep walking. Yeah, just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the. Big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the cleats. When the whole place scream, gotta get out the. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man so tough, but mans keep walking. Yeah, just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. Let tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Status, I'm a big dog, bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stroke, we with all that. Made $1 million and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, can't hold that. 12 asking better, tell him that I ain't so crack. Know your money long when your people can't afford that. I'm ballin', yeah. My mama told me that did my calling. I keep that stick, I don't do no brawling.
let 'em all in here. Yeah, they all in here. Ooh, big dog. We come out the pound, so we big dog. Heavy patty gon' me break my wrist off. I'm young out of rocket, bout to live dog. 3, 2, 1. I got big dog status, I'm a big dog bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a broken wing with all that. Yeah, big dog status, I'm a big dog bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a broken wing with all that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jakes, fall in line. Yeah. We got sticks like a Columbine. Yeah. Running up the dollar signs. Yeah. Ain't no hiding from them hollow kinds. Yeah. Hang up like the Taliban. That's my paper, don't you bother mine. Yeah. Heavy patty, don't need break my wrist off. Yeah. Lift off. I got big dog status, I'm a big dog bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a broken wing with all that. Yeah, big dog status, I'm a big dog bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, ride around the city with a stick all black. Try with a broken wing with all that. Yeah.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame. Cause I break the chains, can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys. Cause I break the chains, they try to hold me. I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Major look, huh?
What? Oh. Hi, everybody. I'm live. Welcome to another songwriting session where I figure out what to write about and eventually put together some semblance of music and words into a cohesive song thing. Eric is laughing at me, that's why. So here we are today on this beautiful Wednesday. It's warm today. And maybe that's why I just kind of like, I'm feeling super chill, feeling super warm. I'm glad I'm not like sweating or anything, but still. Erica was very, very nice this week to print me out some sheet music. So now I don't have to write everything on lined college ruled paper. So now I can figure out how to make sense of my notes here. So give me a moment while So we have this F B flat C right now. That one's a little funky, but that's okay. I'm not really going to give these any time right now just because I just want to get them down. So see. I was thinking earlier about writing about kind of responsibility in the modern age, and I'm doing some pretty heady topics. Last week I was writing about entropy. alternative is doing that instead. Just like a B flat inverted, first inversion. That. Do 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 do. We all shy away from the things we all shy away from the things to be done. We get distracted, lost on the path, lost on the way. We get distracted, lost on the way. We get distracted, lost. We all shy away from the things to be done. We get distracted, lost on the way. Just on the way. The shiny. Shining star. The shining star at the end of the road. The shining star at the end of the road. We can't seem to see through the gray. Can't seem to see. Oh, I think I spelled gray wrong. James, was it A-Y or E-Y? Gray.
Gray, it's A-Y.
Thank you. Yeah, I spelled it wrong.
Sounds like me.
James and I were doing some inventory yesterday, and we were making sure that we were adding descriptors of, you know, what colors things were. And
In the UK, it's E-Y. In America, it's A-Y.
well, gosh darn it, we're in America, not, you know, the socialist crazy. No. Too much, James? Too much?
A little bit.
I was just trying my best Ben Shapiro on for style, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
We all shy away from the things, from the things to be done. We get distracted, lost on the way. The shining star at the end of the road. We can't see through. We can't seem to see. We can't seem to see through the gray. We started strong. The right foot forward. We started strong. Our good foot forward. We started strong. We started strong. Our good foot forward. We started strong, our good foot forward. Our good foot forward. Started strong, a good foot forward, but we seem to love. But we seem to lose our way. But we seem to lose our way. So let's go back. So let's go back. And so let's go back. To the time. So let's go back to the time before us. To the time before us, and then, so let's go back to the time before us, and learn to find our way. Let's go back to the time before us. And learn to find our way. All right, short and sweet. That's going to be the song this week. I'm going to play it just for everybody right now and just to solidify it in my head. So let's see if I can play it. shy from the things to be done. We get distracted, lost on the way. The shining light, the shining light, no, the shining star at the end of the road. We can't seem to see it through all the gray. We started strong, a good foot forward, but we seem to lose our way. So let's go back to the time before us and learn to find our way. Alrighty, folks, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave some comments. Let me know what you think I should be writing about next week. And until then, enjoy Be Wise Gardens, My Idaho Friends, and Kvell Fitness. Thanks.
This is my space. Have to tag Be Wise Gardens.
And this is my space.
Hi, it's Gabrielle from Be Wise Gardens, and what we're talking about today is when is it the right time to plant outside. So you've started seeds, or you've bought some early plants at a nursery and you've been keeping them in your house, or maybe you have a greenhouse like this and you've started a whole bunch of stuff but you're not really sure when do I get to plant it outside. So we're actually really close. Our frost date here in Idaho, southern Idaho, is in the next couple of days. If you look at the forecast, there isn't any freezing temperatures coming up, but every once in a while in history there's been these freak freezes and things have been frozen even after the frost date. But what a frost date means is it's taken the average over sometimes even a century and averaged it out and figured out that around May 7th, May 8th, we will no longer have freezing temperatures. Also, you really want the temperatures at night to be as close to 50 degrees, if not over 50 degrees as possible, because that's when your plants will start growing roots. They won't feel any stress, because you really don't want it to be in the 30s. Even 38 or 39 is still too cold to put tender things out. Obviously, if you've started if you've started broccoli or cauliflower or celery or lettuce, carrots, all of those things are hardy, like cold hardy. But the things that are not are things like basil and flowers like zinnia, dahlias, and these are all of our cucumbers and squash and those types of things that cannot be put outside until after that frost date. But what we're going to talk about is what do you do with them now? So we started ours in peat pots, and I like the peat pots because you can literally take this and just put it right in the ground. Now, if I had started these even a month before, then I would have moved them into the next size pot like this. I would have replanted them again, and then they would have went on here. These would have gotten watered and they would have gotten even bigger. I never got around to that, which is fine because they're still healthy and they're fine. And I'm just going to get them planted outside and they will grow. The reason that I start things like this inside is because in my experience with my particular yard, when I have seeded this stuff directly, as of like 2 or 3 days from now, the types of bugs that I have in my yard just seem to mow down seedlings, especially zinnias and things like that, and basil. And so I just prefer to start it where it's super safe and they're nice and big and they have several sets of leaves, and then I can just put them in the ground and not have to worry about them. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 3 or 4 days, is I have several flats of these and I'm going to get them in the ground. The next thing in our greenhouse situation are these. Now technically these can go in the ground in 2 or 3 days. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let them grow a little bit bigger, and we also have some sunflowers here, so that they're easier to handle and that they have a root system inside of this soil, so that when I pick this up, you'll see these little lines, and that creates a good root system. There's a nice large hole right here, and you can see some of the roots coming out. You can poke this hole, and this whole plant, the whole plant will come out, as opposed to all just soil. And so we want to wait until there's some good roots holding that soil together. The other thing that we have restarted in our greenhouse, we've overwintered our dahlias in like Rubbermaid tubs in mediums, so that they would stay dry and not rot through the winter. They started themselves a little bit earlier than we expected, and so we dug them all out and we put them in pots, and they're actually doing really well. These will also get planted out over the weekend, so I'm going to wait till the 8th or 9th to put these out into the garden and let them start flowering. So we're just going to go outside. Dennis can walk out. And we're going to look at some of these plants down here on the ground. And these are some of our other seedlings that we started. We've got strawberries right here, and these came as bare roots. And we put just them in a tray of soil to keep them healthy until we can plant them in the ground. We have a bunch of other seeds that we started, including strawberries from seed, which are really awesome. We have poppies, foxglove, some cosmos, some, what are these? Oh my goodness, tropical. Oh well, I forgot. Anyway, and then we just have a bunch of other little flowering type plants that those will also go into the ground this weekend. So how we prepare soil, Dennis, if you just want to follow me to the garden. I think I have everything I need. And we're just going to go down where I've started prepping soil to plant vegetables. And those vegetables are anything from beets to radish to carrots. We started tomatoes and peppers and eggplant, and we're gonna plant them in this part of the garden. And I've started preparing the soil right over here. Oh, you don't have to do that. It's fine. And basically what this garden is it was a bunch of soil that was part of a renovation. You can come a lot closer. And the soil was not very good. The native soil, which I'm going to dig up a little chunk of it and show you. The native soil, when it's dry, it looks like this. And you can see the very large sand in it, and it gets really hard. And there's just no way that a plant really wants to grow through something that's that crunchy hard. It's basically a combination, more sand, but then some clay. There's hardly any organic matter in this soil, and I think that it was dug up from underneath, and then it got on top when they were digging the hole for the renovation. When this soil is wet, you can see that it's got more clay in it than anything else. And so what I want to do is I want to make it better and get some organic matter. So what I went and got, this is called soil conditioner. It's mostly forest products, probably a little bit of peat, and then probably a little bit of manure in it. But it's very dry. You can't crunch it up at all. But when you mix it with this and this together in this 50-50, you get something that's a little bit more loamy, and it'll break up over time. This material will break up more and make the soil just nicer. And so what I've been doing is putting it in, got a little extra thing there, and forking it in very lightly. We normally do no-till here, but these beds just have never had this done to them. So I want to put this material down into, the top 6 inches of our garden, because then when I plant beets and potatoes and any kind of root vegetable like a carrot, it will it will be able to grow through that, because we've made it a little bit lighter and a little bit loamier. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plant a tomato, and tomatoes and potatoes are planted very particularly, and the reason why is because they're vines. Most plants have a crown, so wherever they come out of the ground is where you have to plant them at, otherwise they have the chance of rotting. But with a tomato or a potato, which I'll also show you a potato in a second, you have to do very specific things, and you want to plant them quite a bit lower than their crown. So normally you would just put these in the ground, but you can obviously grow tomatoes and plants as long as you fertilize them. Tomatoes are heavy feeders, and they really need a ton of nutrients to give you really good fruit and a ton of water. So plant them where it works best for you. So if it works better for you to be in a pot on your patio, because then you see it and you remember it and you will take better care of it, then make sure and do that. But for display purposes, that's what we're going to do today. So basically, this tomato plant has already been trimmed, and I've dug a pretty deep hole because I want to, so if you come up close, you'll see that I trimmed off all the bottom branches. So these were coming out, and they were branches that were all coming out. And so I've trimmed it so that I can actually plant it up to that level. So I'm going to stick it in my hole. I'm going to backfill in, and I'm going to pat it down firmly, but not really, really hard. You just want to get out any air pockets that might be in there. And then if you come up close, I've also, in between here, there's always little suckers that grow out, and there's no reason for those to stay. They just take nutrients and require water, and you just need to pinch them off the entire time that your tomato is growing through the season. The other thing that's happening right here is that some flowers are coming, and we don't want flowers until we have a really good root system. So I'm going to prune those flowers off to give this plant its best shot at getting some good roots. And I'm going to water this in. I'm going to give it a little bit of vegetable and tomato food, and and then I'm also going to put one of these on it. So this is a tomato cage, or a vining plant, or a vegetable cage. I'm going to slide that in until it hits the bottom, and as this tomato grows, I'm going to basically just help this along and put these on top, and as it comes up, you just keep putting your leaves out over the edges. This particular tomato is an indeterminate, so what that means is that it will grow until it frosts. So this tomato will get far taller than this. So really what I'll end up doing is taking this one out and putting a much taller one in, or doing some kind of a system where they go up ropes at a much higher level so that they can just keep growing and they don't get so floppy that then they don't have airflow, because then you can get different things like powdery mildew or different kind of pests that want to hide in something that's kind of damp and dark. And so I want to keep this as airy as possible, and that's why you want to keep pruning those suckers out and keep pruning out flowers that you don't need, especially as the season gets on and you hit around the end, like August. Then you want to make sure that any fruit that's on your plant, that you want to get that completely ripening, and you get rid of all the new fruit as it comes on, and that will help you to have the most successful tomato season that you can. Make sure and water them a lot, make sure and feed them according to the package instructions. So right behind Dennis, we're going to talk about potatoes. So potatoes are similar in the fact that they're a vining plant. This is a grow bag. I only filled it up about 5 or 6 inches with really light raised bed growing medium. And the reason you want it to be like this, so if you remember over on the other side, the soil held together really fast. Oop, spider scared me. Whereas this doesn't. And why I want that in here is because I want my potatoes to have no resistance growing, so that I have nice big potatoes without the resistance of packed soil. So basically down in here is one of the potatoes. So I cut 2 potatoes into 2 pieces each. And here's all the roots of the potato. At the ends of these roots, that's where the potatoes grow. This is the plant. So I planted it down at the very bottom of the pot. I backfilled it with soil, and those little sprouts are coming through. Now what I'm going to do, every single time a sprout comes through and gets about 2 to 4 inches high, I'm actually going to cover it, other than the very top maybe inch, with more soil. And the reason I'm going to do that is because again, like I said, it's a vining plant, and I want this whole entire thing to be full of potatoes. And the only way to do that is to keep forcing it to make more and more roots. And so as I cover it, it will root out again, and then it'll grow a little bit more. I'll cover it, it'll root out again until, of course, we get to the top of the pot, and then we'll just let them grow. And then what potatoes do is they flower, they get pollinated by a pollinator, and then that's when the potatoes start growing, because those are basically its seeds. And that's it. And then we just want to keep this really watered well, and this soil has enough nutrients in it that I don't need to feed the potatoes. Oh, our little birds are singing. So basically, the other things that we need to talk about with planting is just to make sure that you don't plant anything before it's 40 to 50 degrees at night. Plant it in an appropriate place for its needs. So if it needs 6 to 8 hours of sun, then you absolutely have to plant it in 6 to 8 hours of sun. Potatoes, tomatoes, anything that gets a large fruit really wants to be in a sunnier location, whereas something that's more tender needs to be in maybe morning sun with afternoon shade. And just start thinking about those things, because while you're planting them, that's when you can make those decisions. Whereas once you've planted it and it already has its root system or whatever, you don't ever want to transplant anything heading into the end of June, definitely not July and August. So make that plan now, because it's the best time to make a plan for where you want to plant things. If you're only doing a patio, then make sure that it gets enough sunlight. Make sure that you're watering it correctly, so that the soil can actually dry out a little bit. The plants can transpire before you water them again. And that'll make sure that you don't invite pests or invite any kind of pathogens. And then just read the back of your seed packets, read your plant tags. Those are very helpful. Do research online, and you'll have a great garden season. So thank you very much. And if you ever have any questions, contact us at bewisegardens.com, or find us on Instagram at bewisegardens, and we love to help out anybody who wants to know how to garden. Thank you, Argos, for posting this.
I'm Erin. Some people know me as Zanaya, and I'm teaching a dance class today based on the dance that I teach in my classes that I've been teaching since October. It's called Divine Chaos Tribal Skirt Fusion, and it's a style that was made from a company down in Arizona named Divine Chaos, and they fused together skirt movements from Mexican folkloric dance, flamenco, and Ruska Roma, which is Russian Romani or Russian Gypsy dance, to make this really fun dialect. And what I really love about it is it's a cued dance. So there is a leader, a person in front who does an arm movement or an audible or a change of position of the body, and that cues the rest of the dancers in the group as to what movements are going to be coming next. So you're literally building your choreography as you're performing it, which is a lot of fun, but it's also really difficult. So today I'm going to do a little introduction class on the style, on skirt dancing in general, go through a couple of the move sequences, and then by the end we'll give it a go and see how you all do with following the cues. So skirt dancing, there's a lot of different skirts that you can use for skirt dancing. This one uses a 25 to 35 yard skirt. So if you take a look at that, there's a lot of ruffles that are on this, and I can lift it up over my head without the bottom of my skirt lifting up off of the floor. So that's the ideal kind of skirt that you want for this sort of dance. You also want to make sure that your hands are holding inside the first ruffle of your skirt, and that's so that you can have flare with your skirt. Flare is when you use your wrist to make your skirt bounce. So you want to make sure that your skirt is long enough in that regard. If you've done Ruska Roma dance before, you'll probably have danced with a double circle skirt. You definitely do not want to use a double circle skirt for this. It's just too much fabric. And if you don't have a skirt and you're trying this out, that's fine. You definitely don't need to have one, but they are a ton of fun and they're pretty easy to get. So mine is a 35 yard skirt. So it's on the bigger side, means there's a whole lot of fabric that I get to move around. With this specific style, we hold our skirt directly out from our hip. You don't want it in front of your hip, because if you see what that does to your line down here at the bottom, it pulls, and we don't want that look. Or if you do it from the back, it also gives you a funky line, and you notice that you lose a lot of your movement there. So you want to be able to bring your skirt out directly to the sides, like so. And we have a base move in this. It's our basic. And our basic is what we do in between the move sequences when the leader is trying to figure out what move sequence she wants to do next, or if you're waiting for a specific time in the song to do a specific move. So our basic, if you check out the feet here, the right foot is slightly in front of the left foot, and your body is at an 11 o'clock position. And I use clocks a lot for angle. So if I think 12, 3, 9, and 6, we're at an 11 with our feet, right foot in front slightly. You're on releve, and you do a rock. Your knees are slightly bent. So with this rock, you also have a tiny pelvic push. It just gets the skirt moving a little bit. And then you hold your skirt out. Oh, there we go. Right out from your shoulders. And that's your basic. So arms directly out from your shoulders. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, and hand are all in the same plane. I call this the eye of your elbow here. You want to make sure that that's forward. If it's up, you have this look, and if it's down, it rotates your shoulders forward also. So you want that forward with a slight bend in your arms. If I bend forward, you see how my arms are bent. You can't really see it when I'm standing up in front of you. It looks like my arms are straight, but that slight bend gives you a lot more strength holding your skirt out, because your arms are going to get very tired with it out for a long time. So arms, chest up, right foot slightly in front, and that rock step. There's your basic, and it's on 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your basic. We also have what I call a reset. And I like to use the reset when I'm doing a basic and I am feeling stuck and cannot think of the next move that I want to do. I can't think of a cue. I don't want to sit there and do basics for the rest of the song. Sometimes resetting my brain helps me get out of that. So if the leader puts her left arm in front of her chest, keeps the right arm out, and does a circle around herself in 4 counts, that's a reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're back up here to basic. It's kind of amazing how much just doing that will reset your brain, and all of a sudden you can think of a million different move sequences and cues that you can do. So let's practice that just a little bit before we go into a sequence. And then I'll face the opposite way also so that you can see what it's like from behind. So here we go. Forward, back, forward, the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do a reset here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So hopefully that makes sense. That's kind of the basic of the whole dance, and then we build our cues on top of that. So the first cue that I want to teach is called the Salamanca. And the reason it's called the Salamanca is there is a belly dancer and flamenco dancer named Sylvia Salamanca, and she lives in Texas. And this is a move that was inspired by her, so they named it after her. And the cue for this is a 4-count cue. Some cues are 4 counts, some are 8 counts, and some moves are an audible, which is like a yip, or you can do a zagarite, and those are the cues for those. So just to give you an idea as to what the cues are. But this one is a 4-count cue. For this one, Your right arm is going to go in front, your left arm is going to go behind. You're going to swoop down and across to about shoulder level. This one's behind me here. And up. That takes 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what that tells everyone is that we're getting ready to do the Salamanca. So I'm going to turn around here so you can see what it's like from the back, because the leader is always in front, so everyone's watching from the back. So the cue for Salamanca is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in front, left in back. And then typically the cues for this style of dance are very similar to what the move is going to be. It's a little indicator to you if you're going, I don't know what that move, what that cue is telling me. It's usually something pretty similar to what you just did. And Salamanca is exactly that. So we do a slow one and then we go into a fast one. Down, up, and then the opposite. So this is what's called a vertical flare. A horizontal flare would be this. And so vertical is very close to your body. It goes up instead of out. The reason for what I said earlier about having that extra ruffle is for moves like this, you want that wrist action so that you get that little flare on the end, a little flip, a little flick, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we do 3 of those starting on the right, and whatever arm goes in front, that foot is going to go out at a point and you're going to look down at it. So when the right goes in front, that's what we do, and left, right and left. From behind, right and left, right, left. Okay, so we do that 3 times and then we do a clockwise circle. So starting on the right, we do 1, 2, 3. We're going to bring our arms back out to that basic and we're going to go around ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we start with the left and we do 3. Left, right, left, and then same thing. Arms come out to basic, go around ourselves for 4 counts, and then we're ready to go back into our basic move. So I will do that facing you once all the way through, nice and slow, and then I'll do it facing away so that you can see what it looks like with both of us facing the same direction. So here's with the cue. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, here it is from behind. So the cue, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right, turn, 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 left, right, left, turn, 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 and then you go back to your basic. So Salamanca is a really fun one. You can get really flirty with it. You've got lots of opportunity for big flicks with your skirt. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the skirt, if you're doing it correctly, you're going to hear a lot of whipping noise from your skirt. That's a good thing. So you definitely want to get as much of that in as possible. So let us pick a song, and we're going to try this with a song. What I'm going to do is mix between the Salamanca and that reset so that we can have a chance to do both. So that works. All right, this is a fast song. This will be fun. 5, 6, 7, 8. Basic. So I'm going to do a reset here. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to do a Salamanca. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Let's do another reset. And another reset. And right into Salamanca. I'm going to face the other way. So here we go. Reset. And we're going to do a Salamanca here. Right, left, right, turn, turn, turn. All right, let's try the Salamanca again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Q. Right, left, right, turn, turn, left, right, turn, turn, turn. Basic. All right, you go ahead and turn that music off. Thanks. So, like you can see, Salamanca is a lot of fun. It's one that you can do at quicker speeds. Some of these moves are a little bit more difficult. This one, not having a whole lot of foot action, it's a lot easier.
And welcome to another episode of My Idaho Friends. Yet again, I am your host, Jaime Lima, and thank you for tuning in. As always, huge shout out to Argos Productions, Erica, Jeston, sweet baby James out in the back, making sure that we're looking slick and everything is running on time and perfect. Perfect. We're just gonna go with that. Big day today, because it's now almost summer and the daylight is coming in sooner and going down later. Anyways, Idaho, don't bother with that. Big day today, big awesome sauce day today, because our guest today is my buddy Sean Wainwright from Phoenix Fire Games on Men, and we're gonna geek out on some game type stuff. So you have been forewarned. If you're into games, you're gonna definitely want to tune in for the whole thing. Sean, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm great.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so you're great. I'm great. It's a perfect day. It's sunny outside. It's going to be like 84 degrees. Let's do this.
All right.
So, Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me a little bit about your business, please.
Sure. So I've, been in Idaho for 20 years almost. So Phoenix Fire Games, if you haven't heard of us already, we're a tabletop game store. Mm-hmm. And so board games, card games, not video games. And that still comes up even after all these years. We've been in business for 10 and a half years in Meridian, and it's been wonderful. And we've grown the community from there, and the city has grown around us. So
fantastic. So 10 years plus to dedicate to a business that is very niche into a great hobby that both you and I share.
Right.
And we're going to dive into that. Don't you worry about it. So it's funny that you say, 10 years in business, you're wearing a 10-year anniversary t-shirt for Extra Life, which is a great group, it's a great nonprofit. And, usually I ask my guests, where were you 10 years ago? But I think we're going to have to pull it farther back, because that 10 years now is just a little bit, it fits too well into this cookie cutter jar. Where was Sean 15 years ago?
15 years ago, so we're looking at 2006. Okay, so 15 years ago, I was actually in Seattle.
Okay.
So I moved here, so technically it's 14 years ago I moved here. So 15 years ago, I was in Seattle, working for a large pest control company, learning the ins and outs of managing, employees and staff and everything else, getting ready, starting our family. Our first baby was born 14 years ago, so,
Wow. Look at that, the timing, I just knew.
Right, yeah.
Oh, look at me, pulled that out.
So, very different place, though, in my life.
Right.
Just working, I think. So at that time, 15 years is actually, it's funny. It's a great time for you to ask. 15 years ago, I had 6 jobs. I was learning pest control so I could run the spot.
Right.
But because my wife had started to, she left her job so we could start our family. I had to pick up the slack, and she made more money than I did at the time. So I had to pick up extra jobs. So I had another full-time job working in self-storage, and then I had part-time jobs. I worked at Hilton hotels doing garage maintenance and management and stuff, cleaning up after whatever people leave in garbage cans and stuff.
Right.
And I put up signs for like new condos and new homes, like you see all the stakes in the grass with the signs on them. I went around in the morning and dropped those off, and I picked them all up a couple days later. And then I managed a rental home for one of my in-laws with, it was a multi-unit place and stuff. And, so yeah, lots of work. Slept about an hour and a half a day.
Totally worth it.
So yeah, it was a long 6 months, but yeah.
Wow, you did that for 6 months.
Yeah.
6 jobs for 6 months.
Yeah.
The price we paid to start a family.
Yep. Yeah. Worth it though.
Absolutely.
Worth
Right.
it, though.
Right. Oh gosh, man. Do you tell your kid that story? Your oldest?
Now that she's older than I was when I had my first job, and I bring that up with her quite a bit. I'm like,
it's hard.
I was working.
It's a flex, man. It's a dad flex. You have to do it. Like, how could you not? It's like, you know what? Like, you're complaining about mowing the grass.
Right. Yeah.
Guess what? I have a whole different bag of cookies that I got to unpack with my poor children as they start getting older, because I'm going to do my best not to be like that like immigrant dad, that was like climbing uphill both ways with a 50-pound load in their back when there was no running water or no electricity. But again, I digress. It's not about me. This is about you.
Yeah.
I'll stop projecting.
I get it. And it's hard. It is hard not reminding them of like the struggles we went through, because we did that so they don't have to, right? And so like you appreciate the fact that like they don't have to go work right now.
Yeah.
Because there's things that she wants and stuff, but we've worked hard enough to be able to provide those things.
Right.
So there's a balance between telling them you need to learn these things versus enjoy the fact that you don't have to do these things.
If she wants that new Kickstarter, Kemet's coming out, and I'm excited about it, and like, you gotta do some work.
Yeah.
Probably like 3 people got that, and that was
right. I know.
I'm excited about that Kickstarter. By the way, we'll go and dive into that later. So that's really cool. And then at one point in time, you guys welcome, your daughter into the world. And then what turned the needle for you guys? So you decided like, we're leaving, Washington, and we're going to move to Idaho.
So actually, it was the pest control job. So after I was done training, I was being taught how to like run a location.
Gotcha.
So once that was over with, they were like, "Cool, now we're going to send you somewhere." So Boise was the office that opened.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So so they were like, "You're moving to Idaho," and I was like, "Where?"
From Seattle to.
Yeah. I had only driven through here before then. Family in Utah, so I'd only driven through here. So I was like, I think I know where that is. Sure. Came out here. It was the middle of July. It was 105 degrees when we landed. Immediately hated it. Everything was slower. There was 2 lanes on the freeway.
Right.
But we made our home here. So we moved here about a month and a half after that first like travel out here to find a place, and started working in Meridian, and so
All right. Are you loving it, or still bitter about
so,
it?
we've grown to love it, and a lot of it has to do with the community and how it's grown, and how we've become a part of it. If after those first couple years, I wasn't in the pest control industry anymore. I took another job somewhere else, and so I could see myself moving out of here at that time. We had another kid, and so. So then you're like, well, all right, we'll stay, and we'll see how things work out and
figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start connecting some dots. I don't want to make assumptions, but while you were already in Seattle, you were already gaming.
A little bit, yeah. So it was 2001. My father-in-law visited us for Christmas and we did 12 games of Christmas. And every day leading up to Christmas, he had a new board game. Yeah, 2001. Long time ago as far as the gaming industry goes.
Right.
There were less games, but some of the notable games that people recognize, Settlers of Catan was a thing, now known as just Catan. Ticket to Ride had just come out. And so there were a lot of board games. To me, though, before then, board games were Scrabble and Life and Monopoly. I had not grown up as a board gamer.
Right.
I grew up as a video gamer and stuff. So it was all new, and it opened my eyes to board games when he did that. They were wonderful games compared to what I had done before,
Right.
And our family fell in love with them. My wife, myself, and then our in-laws, our brother-in-law and my brother-in-law and his wife. We were all part of that whole thing and just started loving games, and we started playing more games.
Nice.
There weren't a lot of stores in that area at the time. Back then, Wizards of the Coast, that makes Magic the Gathering, owned a lot of physical locations. And those were the game stores. It was like, think of it like Hollywood Video or whatever. Like, if you wanted to get a board game, you went to a Wizards of the Coast game store. Little small mom and pop shops and stuff weren't as much a thing in most areas. They've been around forever, but wasn't as popular. So that was our experience.
That was your intro, and it was just right around that timeline. And it's your father-in-law's. He was the catalyst.
Yes, he was. Absolutely.
That is crazy. That is really, really cool. The games that you mentioned, for anybody watching, Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride, which you mentioned just came out about that time. That's kind of how I got started.
Yeah.
My cousins got me started on Settlers of Catan, and I played it once and then got my butt kicked like terribly. So I said, we got to play again. And my cousins and I, we're out of a grand old big family that's mostly in Panama. The four of us are the ones that are like here in Idaho, and I will come back when I was stationed in California at the time, and I was like just hanging out and just trying to like have that quality family time, because they're the closest thing to siblings that I have. And one of them introduced the game, and of course they all knew how to play, so I showed up and get my butt kicked. And I said, we're going to play again. And at that time, I think only one of them had kids. The rest of us didn't. It's like, fast forward, we started at 7, and it was like 3:30 in the morning. And one of them was like, we should go to sleep.
Right.
I was like, all right. And I always seen that's how they get you hooked.
Yeah.
So I should probably make that drug reference out. That's probably not, that was not nice. But that's how they get you hooked. It was usually a game like that. And Catan was the gateway, the gateway game for many.
It still is.
And it still is.
It's amazing that it is.
It is
solid. 25 years. The 25th anniversary actually just came out last year for that game.
And it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It just seems like, well, that was like no big deal. I was really lucky when I was stationed in California and eventually got stationed in North Carolina. We ended up making a friend, and he has his own game studio. So he makes games like tabletop games and card games mostly.
Okay.
And then also works on the video game space. So like straight to like phone or app and iOS type stuff, and then some like indie games for Microsoft and his Xbox platform. And then he kept introducing like all these games, and then all of a sudden, like I was just always playing Catan, and he's the one that brought Ticket to Ride, and then he brought King of Tokyo, and it just kept escalating from there. And like next thing you know, it's like there's a whole new world. Yeah. Not to quote a line. So that's really cool. That's so cool, and I like the fact that it became like a family thing.
Yeah. Very much so. We all actually, when we moved out here, we all moved together. The entire family moved here.
Oh wow!
It won't go into details. There was a tragedy in the family, so we all bonded together, and so we all moved to Idaho together. They were all flexible with their professions and stuff at the time, and I was the one that had a new job and stuff. So they all traveled out here with us, and that all eventually became the startup for our store, was that we were all here together and wanted to do something together. So
That you all love.
yeah.
So what's your experience like then? Because there might be some people watching and they're like, what are they talking about? Okay, so we're still a little bit in the past over here. I love the fact that you're sharing this. I appreciate it because you just give like that rich story and context into what you're doing right now with your gaming store. Because back then, like you mentioned, that wasn't really a thing.
Right.
You couldn't people in the hobby didn't have like a spot, like a commercial spot to go and meet other players or get together with their own friends to run like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or play Magic the Gathering. And then now there's, like you mentioned, there's so many more games now as to compare, to before. That wasn't there. So what was your experience like? How outside of your father-in-law, how it came that the hobby grew with you and your family?
Once we moved out here, so when we were in Seattle, we would go down to the store and just pick up a new game, right? And again, there weren't that many of them, but we just kept interested in them, and we kept playing the ones that we had from that Christmas. After we moved here, we weren't interested. We weren't going to start a gaming store after we moved here. That was totally not even on the radar.
Right.
But we sought out places to be able to buy games like we had in Seattle. And there weren't any in the local area. We lived in Caldwell. And the closest store that even resembled a game store was in Boise. Now, having lived in Seattle, grew up in California when I was younger, driving from Caldwell to Boise is not really a major deal. It is to people here.
Yeah.
But it's
Back
not.
then also, 10 years ago, that is like, wink.
Yeah, right. It's even now, it's whatever, it's 20 miles, it's no big deal. But it's a different mindset.
You're not stopping at 15.
Yeah.
I don't.
Or the 405.
Yeah,
right?
I spent plenty of time down there. I get it.
But it still wasn't as convenient. And so we just kind of picked up some games. We kept on playing games together since the whole family was together. But we digressed more into video games because it wasn't as prevalent. And there weren't as many people. Shocking.
Yeah.
Idaho doesn't have as many people as Seattle. I know, nobody knows that. But so
we're all learning here.
Yeah. So we just kind of kept playing whatever we were playing and got together as a family all the time and stuff. And we all actually lived within a mile of each other where we had moved. We all bought homes really close. And so we would just get together all the time. But then, I was working just a lot. We had another baby, right? All that. So there wasn't, I didn't really have my finger on the pulse as far as like how board gaming was, growing back then. And it was still kind of small. Like this, we're still talking 2008, 2009,
right?
When the housing market was crashing.
Right.
And so that was, it changed a lot in our lives as far as jobs and money and everything else. And that was when we started looking to do something. We had a friend who had a game store in Utah, and had been open for about 5 years at that time. And it was, it was a small hobby store, something that he kind of loved, and it was a passion. But, he was able to show positive income and revenue, and he knew the popular games. And at that time, it's not, there was no BGG Top 100 back then that was, full of all of these hot titles that everybody has heard of.
So Idaho, I got you. BGG. Board Game Geek.
Yes, Board Game Geek. It's actually a thing.
Very popular website. You'll find Sean and I there, what we're playing, what we're looking for,
Yeah, it's basically the go-to forum, for talking about board games.
Yeah.
It's like Reddit for geeks.
I have to translate for you, Sean. Don't worry
That's all
about it.
right.
I got you.
Yeah. So we reached out to him, and we were looking to do something together to start up a new business as a whole family. And after we talked with him, it actually came down to a sandwich shop, like a franchise sandwich shop, Togo's. If nobody around here has really heard of it, because there's only been one ever in Boise. It's like the Quiznos was of the West Coast.
Man, throwing it back.
Right? Yeah, right. I know. The fact that like that doesn't even really exist anymore is weird, because that was the hot thing when we moved here. But it's like Subway but good. So it's
Right.
And so that was we loved that place because we used to go there all the time in Seattle, and where I grew up in California, there was a major sandwich shop. So we were looking at that as a possible, like, let's open the first Togos in the Boise area, or let's open a game store. And we broke down the profits and the revenues and where we could go with it. And thankfully, we chose game store.
Right. Yeah, thankfully.
So, and then because of the housing market crash, the game industry, the tabletop gaming industry, exploded. Because people didn't have the money, didn't want to go out to movies, didn't want to buy expensive entertainment hobbies. And more people were at home and started designing board games and coming up with new ideas. And then you could buy a board game and you could play it over and over and over again.
Replayability was a big factor. It was a lot more. I'm so glad you brought that, because now I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's going to be a whole new set of questions. And so we're going to put a pin of where we're at right now, and we're going to exist a little bit here, a little bit in the past, because it's important, I believe, not only to the hobby and to your business, but like anybody's watching that doesn't understand, right? Because to this day, I'm sure you experience it, because I certainly experience it. And we'll come back that the housing market, when it crashed in 2008 and whatnot. When I say board games to some friends, oh, you're going to bring Monopoly? Because I'm not going to play Monopoly. I'm not 12 anymore, Jaime.
Well, that was me 20 years ago. I mean,
yeah, and I was like, I don't want to play Monopoly either. Like everybody's just trying to buy Boardwalk. Like, yeah, like I get it. Like, or everybody, like the Game of Life or playing Sorry, and all these games. Which like there's a time and place for those games. I'm not speaking ill of them, but I certainly didn't want to play that. And then there was a total opposite, where it's like, okay, so I want to play something that is a little bit more, we'll just go with the word sophisticated. And then there was Risk. And it's just like, yeah, Risk is great, but man, like, like I got things to do. And like, in order for it to be fun, you needed more than just one friend, you needed a few more people playing in order to like really get into it and play for hours on end. Nothing wrong with Risk either, but I just would like, perhaps I would like your insight. So like you mentioned, that was one of the catalysts, and I agree with you. I'm not saying that it might not have been the one and only thing, but when that needle got turned as far as like tabletop entertainment, and people had perhaps a little bit more time in their hands, not only to play the games, but to make games, design games, and have better games. What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that was like the big thing that happened, and then all of a sudden the hobby and the industry as a whole like started blowing up, and it's now what it is now, in which you have just hundreds of people on YouTube, teaching you how to play games, or streaming in Twitch playing games, or like now you have like this big grand like productions of games. Like if you end up buying like one single game and you want to have all the expansions, you're looking anywhere between like $100 to $1,000. Very big range.
Yeah.
So I would just like your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I mean, like every change in an industry usually has some kind of reason, right? Some spark. I do. I really think that that economic, crash made this change, because the people who designed board games back then were coming up with something that was replayable, that had everlasting value instead of a one-time hit. And that's why, I mean, all of the entertainment industry as a whole took a huge blowback from that, was because people didn't want to spend the little hard-earned money they had during that crash on watching a movie, right? Going to a thing. And so when they were designing board games at that time, that became more of a focus point, was how can we make this where it's ongoing, it's replayable over and over and over again, and the rules change, because again, there was Monopoly, there was very few things that had a lot of really deep strategy, story building, all of that. It was mostly roll some dice, collect some resources, do a thing, you know, which again, Tom, love you, but you know, like, you know, it's people wanted more than that, and the designers wanted to give them more than that. So I really do think that that was a huge catalyst for that. You know, now, I mean, you talked a little bit about, you know, now there's YouTube and people teaching games and stuff. That is more of a byproduct of the last couple of years.
Right, yeah.
You know, that's, but each step has grown that industry. I think that was the major one that really, really kicked it off. Had the housing market not crashed, had the economy not crashed the way that it did, I don't know. I don't see tabletop games being where they are now. I really don't.
Yeah, I know I would agree. I think maybe like what I would have seen is a little of what we see now, where it's like, and we'll go into genres here in a little bit. I'm not going to let you get away without dipping into that. And then that's when everybody's really going to tune us off. But,
deck building.
Right, exactly. Right? What are you talking about? Like, you just, building your engine? What? But, you know, you got like big companies with big hits in different industries. You know, a great example is World of Warcraft, right? So Blizzard, you know, video game, you know, just you know, role-playing game online, or excuse me, for anybody that's watching, MMORPG, yeah, the thing. All the consonants with a vowel in there. But you know, they you know, will come up with a board game that is, you know, essentially a collectible because they only made so many of them. And like the game, from what I understand, you know, it's like, no offense, it's okay at best, you know. It's not like I gotta get that, son, you know, and like all of a sudden I see somebody on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or, you know, BGG, and it's like they want like, you know, $700 for it, and it's like, you know, good on you. If that's what's worth to you, then have at it. Somebody else out there might pay for that. But that's kind of what I think is like, well, maybe we would have had this like games based on movies and games based on video games, but they would have a little bit more of like a like the Resident Evil board game perhaps would have more like, would have been like a version of Clue, you know, rather than like what you get now, and which is very thematic, and there's like a strategy to it, and some of it, you know, is more has a little bit more substance than others. But like I also, you know, I'm glad that things turned out the way they did, because you have such a wide variety and such a and then, you know, and then there's just something for everyone, which I think is what your store offers.
Yes, well, yeah, and you know, when we opened, I mean, it was easy to. A lot of people have asked me, you know, like, what would it take to open a game store today, right? When we opened, we picked the top 200 selling products in the gaming industry, like card games, board games, miniatures games, everything. We picked the top 200 products, and that was more than enough. It wasn't really, I mean, that was a lot. We had a lot of things that like weren't really all that great because we went as deep as 200 back then.
Right.
Fast forward to 2019, there was over 7,000 new board games between expansions and new games and stuff that came out.
Right.
Like, just incredible difference, right? You can't carry enough.
Yeah.
So picking the top 200 is difficult, but you have a variety to do that from. But, you know, when we opened, like, that was how small the board gaming industry was back then. Is picking the top 200 meant you were getting pretty deep into expansions of games that, like, you know, maybe you would sell like 5 copies in a year.
Right.
So it was still very, very different. But yeah, I mean, it was exciting.
Right.
So,
and it has worked out, because here we are 10 years later.
Yeah.
Which brings us to today. All right. So where is your store at?
So in Meridian. So downtown Meridian, there's Albertsons. There's a big large shopping center. It's called Cherry Plaza. We're dead center in the middle of that shopping center.
Nice. Okay. And you guys have been in that same location this whole time?
The same building.
The same building.
Yeah. So when we first started out, you know, small business, and we only had 200 products, right, to start off with. So it was 1,750 square feet was the total space. And we actually had that cut out of a Chinese restaurant that used to be in that building. And so we had a, you know, 250 square foot storage space out of that. So in this 1,500 square foot spot, we had tables and we had shelves. So it wasn't very big, but it still took a lot to fill that space because of how little the stock was back then. And you know, and we didn't do it. We didn't do it with $1 million in the bank or any of that kind of stuff. You know, that was just really quick, like caveat to why we didn't end up opening like a sandwich shop or a franchise. Even back then, you had to have a ton of money, like liquid value to your name before one of the big companies or anybody would like even talk to you.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, that was, we wanted to start a business so we could make money, hopefully. You know,
that catch-22. Like, I want
yeah,
to be a business owner. You have a franchise, but you need me to be wealthy before I can start.
Right. Yeah. So you know, so we did it on hope, right? You know, and stuff. But now, so we about 1.5 years, and the reason why we chose Meridian really quick is that one store that was in Boise, that was it on the entire west side of the Treasure Valley. And so if you wanted to have a board game, you drove into Boise.
Right.
And so we wanted to provide something that was on this side of the valley. And so, or on that side, because we're in Boise now. But so Meridian was a good spot. I'd already been working there with the previous company and stuff. And so I knew the area and I knew that it was growing. By the way, Meridian only had like 43,000 people in it when we opened our store.
Yeah, 10 years ago, we were really looking at a whole completely different Meridian Eagle area.
But so when we opened there, that space was big enough, and it worked with our small budget. But 1.5 years, we got really busy because there wasn't a game store on that side of the valley until we moved in, until we opened and stuff. So we became very, very popular very fast, and we went through growing pains. So we had to immediately find a bigger space in 1.5 years. We wanted to stay in the same building. There was a spot available down the hallway. So we moved down the hallway, and that was 2,400 square feet. So it was bigger as far as we were concerned, but different because it was down the hallway. It was like, it's a strip mall with like an internal hallway kind of thing. So we were now out of public view. So you only really came to us if you were coming to the strip mall or you knew we were there already.
Yeah, there was like no foot traffic was except for somebody that wasn't familiar. It would be like, oh.
Yeah. So it made a difference, and it was rough. It was actually kind of rough to start when we moved back there, but our community's awesome, and you know, and kept us going. So then we moved. So that would have been about another 1.5 years after that. The Idaho liquor store that was always in the front of the strip mall moved down the hallway, remodeled a big space that they wanted, and so they left their space vacant that they'd had for like 28 years. It was right up front. It was twice the size.
Right.
We wanted to go back up front and take advantage of it, and so we did, and that's where we are now. So it was almost 8 years ago.
Wow. So what's that, 4,800 feet or so?
It's a little over 4,000 square feet.
Okay, yeah.
But we were able to, since they were there forever, they had to gut it because it wasn't up to code anymore and stuff. So we were able to kind of build it however we wanted to, and so we designed it the way that we did and everything, and we've been there ever since. So. And it's been fantastic. It's been great being back up front. It's made a difference. That walk-up traffic really, really does matter.
Yeah, it does.
And
visibility.
And our community has just grown and grown as the city has grown around us.
So you know, you look at it now. You know, let's not even. I mean, we're gonna go all the way from like 10 to now. Your stock was 200 games.
Yeah.
What's the stock right now?
I mean, I have 200 games in, one shelving unit, now, right? In my back room, in our storage room, we have 200 games. So it's a big difference. Like our entire store, that's 1,750 square foot, right? Yeah. Is a little bit smaller than the carpet space we have in our current location now, which is our primary retail, spot of the store. So when you think of that was the chairs, that was the front counter, that was everything, including the storage unit and the bathrooms, was all part of that 1,750 square feet. All of that space is now shelving of board games, and card games and stuff like that. But so it's a big difference. We've turned down 200 copies of 200 different titles and stuff in the last year.
Just ballpark figure, I guess, then, because I'm not gonna let you get away without answering. At least give me a ballpark figure. Like, you had 200 games on your shelves back then. Like, what do you think you have now?
So we have, I'll just tell you, how much SKUs.
Okay, fair. Yes.
So we have 4,917 SKUs, individual.
So 4,900 different
yes,
different items.
Yeah.
You know, so to include games and then like game paraphernalia and things like that.
Yeah, expansions, everything. Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
great.
again, it was 200.
Yeah.
That was 200 SKUs. That was the top 200 selling items. So that included paints and, you know,
dice,
magic releases, all that
yeah.
stuff. So it is, you know, almost 25-fold of that. And that is just, and then again, that's not the top 200. It's not the top 4,900. It's the 4,900 that we want in our store that now we think our community wants.
Right. Like probably play some of them, and there's other ones like I hope I can play it sometime.
Yeah.
But it's,
So yeah, big difference.
Wow. That's amazing. That's awesome. What would you attribute your continued success?
Community, 100%. It's, you know, it's easy. The reason I'll put the community first is because it's easy to say our staff is amazing, and we hope that they are. Yeah. We hope that it's a beautiful dog. We hope that they're amazing because their goal is to just, you know, to share their passion, right? And you know, and they do. That's why they work for us, though, because they're part of our team. That's what you know. It's who we all are. So the community is really what builds our store, because we have sometimes these crazy ideas, and we're a very passionate business when it comes to doing charities, and we can go onto that tangent in another time and stuff. You know, I'm wearing one, but like it's a big passion of ours. But, you know, we can scream at the top of our lungs and say, we want to do this. It takes the community to be able to actually pull that off. And so without the Meridian and expanding Boise and Treasure Valley community backing us and believing in what we believe in and supporting us when we have some of these crazy ideas and notions, without that, I mean, we would have been one of those 90% of small businesses that close in the first year.
Right. I mean, 10 years is a good run.
Yeah.
And still going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are you thinking? Are you going to continue to lean forward and hard on that location, or is there going to be any plans to perhaps have another location of Phoenix Fire Games?
With the actual, like, as far as like Phoenix Fire Games as a, like, I guess, you know, the main location, we're good where we are. We're actually working on renewing our lease with our landlord.
Nice.
And everything, and doing some remodels that may happen this year, may not happen this year, depending on codes and stuff.
And the price of lumber.
You know, and blowing out some walls and all this stuff, right? So we're staying there mostly because, like, again, this is where we've been home. We looked at a lot of locations over the years and stuff just to keep an eye out for the different growing parts of Meridian, but our community knows where we are, and we've grown that around us, and so that place is good.
Nice.
Not saying we would never expand to different parts of town. Even tried it once. We had a little bit of kind of a franchise thing in Nampa. Differences of opinion on how to run the business, so we part ways, you know, years ago, and that's fine. But it was a learning experience. Right. So we've talked about expanding and trying new things and stuff in different parts of the valley. So, you know. Maybe coming soon.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
But as far as like the house goes, you know, just what we are and who we are.
Yeah.
Our space is the right size. The bigger we've grown into this space, right? The only thing we would need more of would be storage. The actual like usable space for retail and for tabletop gaming where we are is good. Yeah. We think it's too much space would be too much space. So
yeah, you know. You know, if you have storage issues, you know, you can always just leave them in my garage.
Sure, absolutely.
New and shrink, I don't know what happened.
Listen, I moved 5 minutes away from the store a few years back, mostly because I wanted to, and we have a storage shed in our backyard, and like I use a third of my garage for stuff. And it's a convenience thing, right? You know, but that is storage as far as that goes. So, yeah.
All right, that's awesome. All right, now let's dive into a little bit of the I was gonna say the deeper side. I don't know. I'm gonna end up saying something weird and inappropriate, and that's not what I'm trying to do. Genres. Okay.
Yes.
So anybody watching, you and I have been spitting some game. They're like, I don't know. I have no clue what these guys are talking about. You know, what would you say? You know, are the most popular types of games that are like rotating to your store right now?
Cooperative games and campaign style games.
Okay. What is a campaign style game?
So campaign style games. So think of Dungeons and Dragons as a ongoing campaign. Think of, you know, and if you're a video gamer, think of, you know, following quest lines, and every time you complete a quest, you get a new quest.
Right.
That's a campaign style game. So they've turned that into board games, you know, and it's become a growing genre. But they are games that you play with the same people, preferably.
Right.
Because you're growing the story as you go. That has been the largest growing genre by far, especially in the last year.
Wow, it's really in the last
year.
Because
I mean, you know, people are like, hey, we're at home. So, like, we need to play a game that we can't play with other people.
Yeah. Don't you know the Mad Mage? You know, that type of thing. Yeah. What would you say? Which will be your favorite in that genre?
So, favorite...
Or top two.
Yeah, so favorite as far as campaign goes was one that we played recently called My City. Kind of a unique... you spend more time in the game swearing and being angry and frustrated. It is a very thinky, very Tetris-y, like, you know, fitting spaces kind of thing while you're trying to grow it, and you're putting stickers and different things on the board and getting really angry all the time, but super fun. So that, I mean, that would be like my favorite, I guess, just because of the excitement and involvement.
And just to clarify something, because anybody watching, you know, so I have a copy of that game too, and I'm yet to find the perfect 3 people to play it with, which is also key because, you know, I call it, you know, legacy game, but it, you know, it's, you know, like, you know, you can still campaign, you know, whichever, but there's not a single thing about that game screams what, you know, people that are not in the hobby will consider Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Which is a thing that I run into. It's like, oh, like, well, let's play some games. It's like, I'm not going to put on my wizard hat on, Jaime, and sit on your dark basement and roll dice with you. It's like, that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, it has nothing to do with that. Just clarifying a few things here and there.
Sure, yeah,
because that's something that I don't know if, you know, you probably do not run into it because you're surrounded by this community that knows and understands, you know, the hobby really, really well. I love games. I'm not nearly as deep into them as you are. I just know the games that I like.
I would say you probably are more deep into like a lot of stuff than I am when it comes to games. But
perhaps. Okay. Fair. But you know, like I know that I have my crew. They say, okay, we're gonna play a game, and this game is gonna take 2 hours, maybe 3. If we're bringing somebody new that we gotta teach them how to play. All right, and then that turns into a 6-hour game because then you want to play it again. At least one hopes. And then there's when I play with my wife when it's like I want to play a game like Gravwell. Which what would you consider a game like Gravwell?
What's the best genre?
It's
like
unique.
Yeah, I mean, because it's, you know, real time. Because you're moving, you're playing cards at the same time, so it has a little bit of a real-time aspect to it.
A little bit of a deck building, sort of. But
bidding, you know,
There's something for
it
everyone.
Is very unique.
Is
it is
what
very
I'm trying.
I love it. It's very unique,
that's a terrible example, but King of Tokyo, she likes to play King of Tokyo.
Sure, okay, yeah. So,
you know,
I mean, just rolling dice. And,
yeah,
you know,
you're rolling dice, you're
press
pulling
your
cards,
luck.
and you're pressing your luck.
Yeah.
You have a strategy, but it doesn't matter. My 6-year-old sometimes can win, and you're like, ah! So there's something for everyone. Anyways, just wanted to take the time to clarify that because that's a very good game that I'm yet to play. But when you're into the hobby, and now I'm really gonna, you know, fly my freak flag around. You might watch some YouTube videos of other people playing because you're like, I want to know how to play this game. And once I get a chance to teach it to somebody, I'm gonna make it as efficient and effective as possible.
Sure, yeah.
Which brings probably the only thing that is the true challenge about introducing the hobby to somebody else. Teaching them how to play games.
Right, yeah. And for a lot of things, again, with the expansion of YouTube and everything, over the last few years, like that's a wonderful thing for the gaming industry because
Yeah.
it does take that reading the rule book out of the equation for a lot of people who don't like to do that. There are some people that are phenomenal at it. I mean, like I will plug Joe at our store. Like he is phenomenal at reading rule books and teaching them to players.
Yep.
Not me. So like not something that I do. So I'm thankful for all the people who do put together these videos and stuff on playthroughs. One of the reasons why I think these campaign legacy style games have been our biggest seller is because we sell the passion of discovering it yourself as you go, because you can't watch a video on the entire game because of spoilers. You know, every movie fan and TV show fan, and especially people who've been watching all the new Marvel stuff recently, all know spoilers are terrible and people hate those.
Right.
And so these types of games, like you have to avoid those. And so you can't watch a playthrough of them because you'll learn everything and then you don't discover it yourself. So that's been a thing where people have really, really locked into, is that idea of not being able to know ahead of time, not being able to just learn how is this going to come out, and doing it. So, and we've been passionate about that. We've enjoyed it. So we tell people about it.
Right. No, yeah. No, I got my city on your, you told me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, snagged it.
And the other game that I would say that, like, I mean, every board gamer now has heard about it. And anybody who's on Board Game Geek sees it up on the top of the list all the time. But for people who aren't in the gaming industry, Gloomhaven. You know, and that is the, like, what's the word, quintessential? That is the game that is like, look, it is full of spoilers. If you watch somebody playing it, you potentially ruin your own game.
Yeah, your experience.
Because of it was designed in such a wonderful way that that you discover so much of it as you go. When you unlock things, there's locked boxes and soul.
And you don't need this to be this very savvy, like, dungeon master type person.
No.
It's an analog, it's a tabletop game, but it's plug and play is best way to, like, I would want to describe it to somebody.
Sure. No? Yeah, absolutely.
Gloomhaven. Yeah, I played it. It's time commitment now. It's just like,
yeah. When you tell people, this has over 150 hours worth of playtime in it, there's what?
Like,
yeah.
This was like,
and
just
then you're
setting it up.
Then you remind them that their World of Warcraft game says they've played for 39 days of their life. It changes the perspective, right? But but when you break it down into, like, oh, it's an hour to an hour and a half every time you play the game. Okay, fine. Yeah. That's more doable, right? But it's different. Every hour and a half that you spend in the game is different.
Dude, yeah. So, Gloomhaven aside, because I have my opinions, and it's a fun game. It's just the time commitment in order to play it regularly. It's
sure.
like, I got young kids. My wife is not into gaming, which kills me. But that's okay. Happily married, almost 12 years. Love you, honey. Like my thing is, like, I think I got into the point where I'm not going to be buying any games for a while. Famous last words, right?
Right. I know.
I'm just saying that so my wife, when, like, she never watches anyway, but, like, there's proof on YouTube now. But I feel like I've curated my collection, and I'm not just collecting. I play my games. Some collectors out there, good on you. I don't know how you do not play your games. It would drive me nuts.
Right.
But separate conversation. That's a whole separate episode with a mental health professional. But, like, the ability of having these games and getting really familiar with them, and then, like, start playing them with my children as they get older.
Sure.
And it's just that's something, like, because I also, like, I grew up in front of the screen, right? And, like, I turned out okay, but, like, we have decided now as adults and as parents that we're going to limit the screen time for our kids. And I'm not telling anybody how to do their thing with their children. You parent how you want to parent, and you do the best you can. It's not like we have it figured out. But then I was like, I need an alternative for something, for them to do, and I want to do it with them. Because I do want to play video games with them, but I also don't have the time for that. So it was picking those things. It's like, okay, so they're doing jiu-jitsu, and as they get older, they might want to be doing something else, or soccer, or climbing, or whatever. At one point in time, how can I extend family time, good, awesome quality time, and they're not so, like, thinking about like, oh man, I gotta hang out with the old man, you know, and this is like, knock on wood, is gonna be the answer to that. It's my strategy.
Sure.
And I'm investing in it way ahead of schedule. And they're already like playing these games, you know, games that are like designed for children, other than just memory games.
Yeah.
Which nothing wrong with those, but it's like, oh, let's do something where
Sure.
we roll some dice and move some little guys around. We're painting miniatures, which is also a whole nother like different, you know, bag of squirrels. Let's just call it that. And little by little, I just. Hopefully I'm not wrong, and this will be something that I'll be doing with my boys as they continue to grow older with me. Anyways, didn't want to steal your thunder on that.
No. I mean, describing a lot of my household, so that's fine. Yeah.
What? Oh gosh, we're starting to run out of time, so I gotta move. There's so many more questions. Where do you see yourself and the business in the future? Near and or far?
Yeah, so I mean, near future, just recovering from this last year, which, you know, again, community has been amazing. So in this last year, you know, things were different, you know, but still good. So recovering for us is a little bit different than some other small businesses recovering from this year. Recovering for us is slowly moving some of the things back to the way that they were. And one of those is like running events and stuff. So in the near future, I just see us moving a little bit back towards normalcy, hosting big events and, you know, and having more people in the store and all those kind of things. And so that's our near future. And where that brings us is, you know, the unknown. We like our space, like I talked about. I don't think we need to grow as far as a business square footage goes and everything.
Yeah.
But with the stuff that we've learned in the last year, another short-term thing is continuing to grow our online presence. It has made a huge difference for us in this last year. You know, we didn't ship anything in 2019. Like, it wasn't something that we did. We never did that. We ship things every couple days now across the country. Mostly because we had to have an online business for this last year, so we could stay open and stay busy. So that's our short term. Long term, I guess let's call it middle of the road term. The gaming industry is changing. It is definitely going more of a hybrid model in a lot of ways, where there's a lot more digital information and digital gaming combined. Some of the Kickstarters that are out now, a lot of the big Kickstarters have some kind of mobile app or something that you can download for free that accompanies your game.
Augmented reality.
Exactly, right, yeah. I mean, you know, we've already plugged some titles, and so whatever. Chronicles of Crime is like, the game is entirely digital. The only physical aspect of the game is these cards with QR codes. You know, but those cards can be reused into any story that they build into the app. And the app to download itself is free. So it's this perfect combined effort of, you need the app and you need the cards.
Right.
But they can put anything they want to in the app for future reference and still use the same cards.
Yeah.
So there's more things that are going that way. And as that happens, collectible card games, you know, Magic the Gathering has been the longest ongoing collectible card game for now. I mean, at least as of now. It's 27 years this year. It has gone, it's still in physical print form, but the digital aspect of the game, the number of players online and everything, and the quality of online play for the game has been improving more and more and more. And this last year has only made that better because more people focused on playing online. So in the medium term, that game is going to change a lot. There will still be people who want to play in person. But there's going to be a lot of people that have gotten used to playing online or are more comfortable playing online.
Right.
Or now that you can play online, they get to play with people all over the world.
Right.
You know, and so that there's going to be a little bit of I don't know, people want to get in person and then people don't want to get in person. It'll have two different branches. So then long term, it'll be the games that like have to be played in person are the ones that we're going to be focusing on. Right. Eventually, just like 10 years ago when there was only 200 titles that we brought
Right.
in. There'll be a lot of games that go away,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there'll be a lot of new ones that focus on how do you still keep people coming into a store
Yeah.
and buying those games. So I think we'll do a lot more like in-person events. You talked about painting with your kids. So doing more painting classes, more
Right.
things that get people physically into the hobby itself.
Right. Oh man.
And you know, and there is. We talked a little bit about this earlier, and we're not going to go too deep into it because of, you know, unknown details and stuff. But like, there's more hybrid models of our type of store that we're looking into, where it's more than just a game store.
Cool.
And so that's something that I think that's the future.
Nice. Absolutely. Yeah. Bring them in and keep them in. Don't let them go anywhere.
Yeah.
Make it like Vegas.
Right. Yeah. Oh God, if only. Anyways.
I have some thoughts on that. And unfortunately, I don't have too much more time, Sean. We're going to have you on again. We're going to have to have you on again. It sounds like we have talked about everything. I have so much more to ask you. You have no idea. It's going to blow your mind away. But before I let you keep going,
and before we run out of time, if I could plug...
We're not there yet. No,
Yeah.
that's why I'm speeding
Cool.
up, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to get to plug anything and everything you want. I just need to make sure that
Okay,
I
cool.
knock
Yeah,
these
yeah,
things
yeah.
out of the way. No, I got you, boo.
No.
You will get what you want at the end, no matter what. Would you ever be involved, or have you ever been involved in any game development?
So I've play tested a lot of games. Yes,
Okay.
I've play tested a lot of games. I don't have a mind for coming up with rules.
Mhm.
I don't have a mind for. I'm not an artist. Oh God, by any means or anything. But I enjoy play testing games. I enjoy finding ways to break games. And finding ways to improve them based off of what's already there. So I couldn't tell you how to get from A to B, but I can tell you what doesn't work now that you've told me how to get from A to B.
Right.
So we do a lot of play testing whenever we can. There's publishers that have us on their list. They send us prototypes of games. These days it's more or less online.
Gotcha.
But yes, yeah.
Right. You know, what are your top 2 favorite games, and why are they Root and Cthulhu Wars?
My favorite game, and he knows it, and the designer of the game knows it, everybody knows this, is Lanterns: The Harvest Festival by Christopher Chung. And there is many reasons why it's my favorite game. It is not the most advanced game. It's not the simplest game. It's not, you know, the most, you're not going to get a strategy gamer to be like, this is amazing, you know, but it is one of the most teachable games I've ever played. It is quick. It is involved. Everybody is doing something. It's pretty. I've demoed it to, I've actually played the game. I lost track of count. It was over 20,000 times the last time I had counted how many times I'd played the game, because I've demoed it at big conventions. There's a digital app of the game. I broke the app. I played everything you could do in the app until there was no more. It said, thanks, you're done. I didn't know that was a thing, and neither did he. So that is my favorite game, and I've left it with every in-law that I've traveled with. You know, we demoed everywhere. So that is my favorite game overall because of a lot of different reasons. Other than that, my next favorite game is the one, it's not a single game. It's the one that I'm playing with people where it doesn't matter how long we're taking, whether it's short or long. We're laughing, we're having good conversation. That's my next favorite game. And the reason, and so there's a lot of things that I will play. There's a lot of things I won't play because I feel you can't do that in some games where I can't do that. I should be more specific.
Yeah.
I can't do that in some games because I have to focus too much on the rules.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, Idaho. Sean Wainwright's favorite game is Root.
They are very cute characters, I'll tell you that.
When we launch Root League, he will be here playing Root League with us. We'll make it like Vegas.
I will play Gravwell with you. I will play that.
Nice. I had some ideas.
The designer of that game is one of the most humble people I've ever met in my life.
That's cool. That's awesome. I play that game with my children a lot. Yeah. My 6-year-old loves it. I mean, he has a great understanding of it. And my wife. So I was like, all right. Okay. I'll have to just save all the other questions for a different time. Please let everybody at home know where they can find you, address of your store, where they can find you online, any social media presence, anything that you would like to promote. Idaho Gifts starts today. Anything that you want people to be aware of. I believe you have a rental system, you know,
they're just covering it all for me now. So, you know.
No, but you're going to get to say it. They want you to say it. They don't want me to say it, but just tell them all the things, please.
Sure. All right. So, hi. So, Phoenix Fire Games, we're in Meridian, if you didn't pick that up already, downtown at Cherry and where Fairview becomes Cherry at Meridian Road. PhoenixFireGames.com, Facebook, Phoenix Fire Games, Instagram, Phoenix Fire Games, Twitter, Phoenix Fire Games. We're simple. We like easy. Yes, so as Jaime mentioned, we do have a board game rental library, and it's cool, and we try and keep it up to date. There's a couple hundred games that are in it. You can take the game home, try it out for a small fee. You bring it back, you love the game, you want to buy the game, you get a new copy of the game, and you take the rental cost off of the price of the new game. So it's a try before you buy kind of system that works out really well. So really quick, let's talk about some of the passions that we have as a store and how you can join us with some of those passions. You'll see I'm wearing an Extra Life t-shirt. So we have been a part of this charity every year for, this will be 9 years. It is a Children's Miracle Network gaming for 24 hours charity. It started off as mostly video games. We decided to go into the board game realm with it. Started with 5 of us playing games for 24 hours. In 2019, there were over 600 people at Jump playing games for 18 hours because that was all we could get the space for. Thanks, Jump. And then we continued the next day at our store raising money. And we have raised collectively, I think it's over $25,000 for the St. Luke's Children's Hospital. And every year we look to grow that. So we will be doing that. It's in November. So keep an eye out for that. We'll talk more about that as we go. The next thing that we're working on, shout out to Big J at 100.3 The X. We are part of the Alzheimer's Association of Idaho community, and this year. So the longest day is in June. We will be doing a big charity promotion for the Alzheimer's Association. So please join us with that. We'll have a lot of fun playing games, raising money for that too. So,
Sean, outstanding. Thank you for sharing, especially your time, your insight about games, sharing about your passions, your family, and the history of what, you know, brought Phoenix Fire Games and you and your brand and your community here into the Valley and all over, because many travel to come over and see you and your team over at Phoenix Fire Games. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Idaho, as always, thank you for tuning in. I know you could be doing other things. Some things to look forward to here. We are recording this. This is not live. It will be on the YouTubes here in just a little bit, a few days. But you will be seeing on our social media the nonprofits that My Idaho Friends is encouraging you to donate or like raise awareness during the My Idaho Give campaign. So more on that. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on, I think that's it. Oh no, we got the Twitter too, but there's not much there. I'll get to it. Other than that, as always, thank you to Argos Productions, the whole team. Please, once we're on YouTube, check out the content, like it if you like it, subscribe if you like it, check out our partners. You have the links for Argos Productions, got the links for all the nonprofits that we're gonna be supporting and advertising, you know, during the My Idaho Gives campaign. And again, thank you very much to Sean and Idaho. You get out there and be kind to somebody. Cheers.
Tuesday, workout number 2. We are in week 3. So again, mentally, let's engage. Let's make sure that we are going as hard as we can, finishing out this phase strong. Next week, next phase, we'll take it down a notch again, crank back up. Again, we have 6 movements. We're going to go 25 seconds of work, 15 seconds to catch your breath in between. Remember, we want to rest and relax as much as we can on those 15 seconds. We'll go through all 6 movements. Then we'll take a 60-second break. Again, grabbing a drink, getting the heart rate down, getting that breathing rate down and under control. All right, let's go ahead and again, we'll go through that 6 times. Let's go ahead and get warmed up. Starting out in our cat-cows. Cat-cows. Big breath in. Arch the back, look up at the ceiling. And then breathe it out. Tuck your chin to your chest. Round the back. Nice and smooth movements here. Just reacquaint yourself with your body here this morning. Nice wide fingers driving away from the floor. Try and get a little more range of motion every time. Good breath in here. So again, the breath controls the body and the mind. Control. Relax, get ready to go. One more. Big breath in. And breathe it out. And let's go into our Spider-Man with reach. Stepping to the outside of our hand. We're going to reach elbow to the instep. And then let's reach up. Rotate the hand back. Rotate the hand forward. Back down. Push up if you can. And switch. If you can't do a push-up, don't worry about the push-up. Rotate the hand forward, back, elbow to instep. If you need to touch your knees for the push-ups, that's cool too. And back up. And up. Rotate the thumb back. Rotate it up. Again, we're just flossing the shoulder joint there a little bit. Good push-ups. Good chance for you to practice technique. Rotate. One more push-up here. And let's widen the feet a little bit, go into our hand walkouts. So again, get a nice gentle hamstring stretch there at the top. And let's walk it out. Don't go too far too soon. And bring the feet in just a little bit. A little bigger hamstring stretch. Walk it out. A little further on the walkout. Bring the feet in a little bit more again. Inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, millimeter by millimeter. We're just working on waking up the body. A little further on the reach. And a little closer with the feet. Walk it out. Engage the core. And we're onto our feet for our squat. To stretch, toes are forward, grab the outside of the toes. I'm going to pull my chest up, rip the knees out, keep the heels down, rock side to side. Back up, big hamstring stretch. Rock the hips, back down. Again, we want to keep the back as straight as we can. Pull the chest through the shoulders. Rock it at the top. This time, let's go into our Y stand. So get nice and deep. Y at the bottom. Stand up out of it. Reach down, grab the toes of straight legs. Pull your chest up. Hips through and forward. Y at the bottom. Stand up out of it. Let's go one more. Pull through. Y at the bottom. Hands go into our lateral squats. Feet are going to go wide. Pushing the hips down and back. Again, nice gentle stretch here on the first few. Hold for a few seconds. Get a good stretch over to the other side. And a little deeper on the next reps. Rip the knees out. Go to where is comfortable. We don't want any pain or any pinching in here. Just ease into it. A few more seconds. Feel stretch in that opposite groin. One more. And let's get the heart rate up a little bit, going into our mountain climbers. Nice wide fingers, right up under the shoulders, shoulders are over the knuckles. Walk pace. Working leg separation here, core tightness, pushing away from the floor. Good, drive the back leg back, bring that front leg forward. And let's go into a jog pace. A little faster. Actively pushing away from the floor, a little faster now. Get ready to sprint. In 3, 2, let's go. Fast as we can. Drive away from the floor. Punch the knees forward. 3, 2. All right, great. Catch your breath here. Get ready to go. So again, quick recap. We're going to go 25 seconds of work, all out effort, hard as you can go. 15 seconds to catch your breath in between. Okay, we're going to go through all 6 movements. Then we'll rest for 60 seconds. Okay, we'll do that 6 times. And then we're done. First round is always the hardest. We're trying to catch our wind. Once we got that second wind, it gets easier from there until we get to set 6, of course. All right, 25 seconds of work. We're going to start out here with our speed squats. and our squat split switches. So level 1s, we're going speed squat here. Okay, 2s and 3s, we're going to be in a semi-squat athletic stance. The lower I get, the harder it is. And let's go offset. We're just here. Arms go opposite legs. Stay as low as you can, as fast as you can. Now remember, I'll demo in the rest periods on that first round through. All right, let's get into it. Starting our squat positions, going in. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 2s and 3s, we're here. Quick feet. Fast as we can go. Level 1s, we're squatting. Either one works. Fast as we can go though. Get it going, 10 seconds. Quick feet. Arms go opposite the legs. We got 5. Low as you can get. Put the pressure on the legs. 2. Good job, shake it out. We're going push-ups next. So level 1s, here, or scat push-ups. Level 2s, we're gonna go knee push-ups today. So we're here, cranking them out, elbows at 45. Level 3, you got speed push-ups in 3, 2, let's go. So level 3, we're here. Not all the way up, keeping the tension on. Level 2s, you drop to the knee, down and up, all the way. Good form, good technique. And level 1s, just holding, or again, scap, push-up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together, push them apart. No matter the level, the body's rigid. 3, 2, good job. We're going into our iso lateral squat for level 1. So we're just going to go down and hold. Level 2s, we're going to reach. Level 3s, we're going to get a slight pulse. So we're here, pulse, and back down. Try and get a little lower every time. 3, let's go. Right side. So again, we're here for level 2s, no movement. Level 1, just going to hold. Level 3, pulse. Then sink a little lower. Pulse. Sink a little lower. Stay in it. 10. It's going to burn. Come on. 5. Let's go. 3, 2. Good job. Come out. We got our beasts. So level 1, we got beast hold. Level 2, beast push-ups. Level 1s, we're here. Eyes up. Level 2s, we're going beast push-up. Touch the nose or forehead. Level 3s, we got beast push-up to pike push-up. I'll show you that here. So we got push-up, hips up, pike. It's level 3. Back down. Beast, hips up, pike. Level 2s, you're just cranking out. Beast, push-ups. Level 3, or level 1s, we're just going to hold. Keep those eyes up, though. Actually push away from the floor. In 3, 2. Good job. We're back onto our feet. We're going to go into our sprinter starts. Let's go right leg forward. Level 1s, we're here. No jump, just stepping up. Keep your back flat. Level 2s, we're going high knees. Okay, here. And level 3, we're going to jump. 3, 2. So again, level 1s here. Boom. Accelerate up. 2s, high knee. Pop. Level 3s, jump. Jump. Listen, if you need to pause at the bottom to catch your balance, do it. Pause. Explode. And once you get down, you can pick up the pace. Level 1s, boom. Snap. Snap. Level 2s, you can high knee and karate kick. All right, we got beast switches and beast plyo switch. So level 1, we're just going to go here. Step, step, opposite arm, opposite leg. 2s and 3s, plyo switch. Boom, boom. Okay, let's go. Opposite arm, opposite leg if you can. If you have to go same side, that's cool too. Just quick switches. Slight pause, explode, 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 explode. Level 1s, you're stepping. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Good beast position. If you need to hold, just stop, hold, eyes up. 3, 2. All right, good job. First one's down. Now the body's warm. Okay, that first one can always be a little rough. Now we'll get our second wind here. Catch your breath. 60 seconds. Get ready to go. Quick drink. We got 15 seconds. Get ready. Number 2. 1 down, 2 left. Goes fast from here. 10 seconds. We got speed squat, squat switches. And 5. 3, 2, let's go. So again, level 1s, we're here. 2s and 3s here. Let's go. 1s, we're cranking them out fast as we can. 2s and 3s, boom. Let's go. Try and get your arms opposite. If not, just go as fast as we can. Don't worry about technique as much on this one. Just go fast. Stay low. 3, 2. Good job. Catch your breath, guys. Push up. Level 1s, you got scap push-ups or pups. Level 2s, you got knee push-up. Level 3, speed or standard push-ups. In 3, 2, let's go. So level 2s, I'm with you here. All the way down, all the way up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together at the bottom. Keep the elbows at 45 degrees. Keep your core locked in and tight. Shoulders back. Don't let them come up by the ears. Get as low as you can. We're trying to touch the chest. We got 5 seconds. A few more reps. Come on, 3. Good job, back onto our feet. Going into our laterals, left side. Reaching for 2s and 3s, a pulse for 3, 5. Get ready, and 3. Stay low, 2. Let's go. Trying to get down to 90 degrees with that leg. So from the side, we're here. Nice and deep. Level 2s, we're gonna reach. Level 3s, you add that slight pulse at the top. Keep the tension on. And then see if you can stretch it out, sink a little lower. Every rep. 3, 2, good job, come out. We got beast, hold, beast push up, and beast push up to pike push up. 10 seconds. 5. See how the breathing slowed down a little bit? Body's got that second breath. 3, 2, let's go. Up for 1s. 2s, we're gonna go down, touch the nose. Try and keep those elbows at 45 degrees. Your knees are gonna touch slightly at the bottom there. Level 3s, you got a beast. And then you straighten out the legs, touch the forehead for a pike. Beast, hips up, touch the forehead, pike. 5, almost there. 3, good job, back onto our feet. Okay, we're gonna go into our sprinter start. Let's see here, left leg forward. So level 1s again, we're gonna go down and up. Level 2s, explode. Level 3s, jump. 3, 2, level 1s, boom. Remember, I wanna close that door. Okay, level 2s, bam, bam. Or again, kick, right back down. Level 3s, explode, pause. Explode, pause. Explode, pause. Okay, do the level that works for you. Again, it's all right to mix it up a little bit. Just keep moving. Nice, we're going into our beast plyo switches and beast switches without the jump. In 5, you can also just hold here. 3, get ready. 2, and knees up, let's go. So for 1s we can hold, we can step. 2s and 3s, let's try and go opposite arm, opposite leg. Switch, switch, switch. Once you get it down, pick up speed. Listen, if you're stuck on the same arm, same leg, that's okay. Just keep moving. Let's go, we got 5. Keep it up. Easy peasy, 2 down, 4 left. Let's go, 60 seconds. Catch your breath. Going in 20. Ten seconds. Get ready. Starting back at the top. Speed squat. Split switches in 3, 2. Let's go. Come on, here. Quick feet. Get it going. Quick. 15. Stay low. 10. 5. Keep moving. 3, 2. Nice and down. We got a scap push up, knee push up, speed push up. In 10. Pick the level that works for you. You can go out 5 seconds. All out effort in 3, 2. Let's go. Level 3s, we're here. Shoulders back, core tight. Crank them out. Level 2s, we just tap those knees. Full range of motion. Elbows at 45. Pop it out. Level 1s, we're holding. Or we got scap. Squeeze together. Push part. 5 seconds. Keep moving. 3, 2. Good job. 15. Catch your breath. We're going right side. 10 seconds. Lateral squat. Get ready. In 5, 3, 2. Sink down into it. Nice and low. Level 2s, we're reaching. Big reach. Feel it in the upper back. Rip that right leg out. 10 seconds. Level 3, you got a pulse. 5. Stay low. 3, 2, and out. Good job. Got beast. Beast hold. Beast push up. Beast push up to pike push up. Going in 5. In position. Get ready. In 3, 2. Let's go. Knees up. Level 2s, pikes. Beast push up. Level 3s, pikes. Legs straight. Touch forehead. Hitting the shoulders a little more there. Keep going. 10 seconds. Keep cranking. 3, 2. Nicely done. Into our sprinter start. Right leg forward. And 3, 2. Let's go. Level 1s here. Pop. Pop. Level 2s, high knee. Explode up. Level 3s, jump. Explode. Explode. Explode out of there. Drive through the glutes and the hamstrings. Let's go. Pop. 5. Let's go. 3, 2. All right, we got one more here going. Beast switch and beast plyo switch. In 5. Get ready. In 3, 2, and we're up. Level 1s, opposite arm, opposite leg. Stepping. 2s and 3s, we're jumping. Explode, explode, explode. Keep those hips low now. Eyes up. Working the back of your neck. 10. Almost there. 5. Good job, catch your breath. 60 seconds. Catch your breath, grab a drink. Big breaths. That's 3 down already. We only got 3 left. 30 seconds. Big breath in, big breath out. 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. All right, get ready. We're going in 15. 10 seconds, speed squats, squat switches. 10, come on. Going in 3, get ready. 2, let's go. Fast we can. Stay on the balls of your feet. Again, remember level 1s, we're here. Just squatting. Chest up. 2s and 3s, we're here. Try and go opposite arm, opposite leg if you can. Oops. Come on. 10. Quick feet. 3. Good job. Push up. Level 1s, pup hold or scaps. Level 2 knee push up, level 3 speed push up or standard push up at this point. 5. In 3, 2, let's go. You can always mix it up as well. Hit a push up, hit a knee push up, hit a scap push up, whatever works for you, where you're at. Go with your fitness level. Keep moving. All 25 seconds. Let's go. We got 5. Almost there. Keep moving. Good job. Back under our feet. Left side, lateral. Going in 5. Nice and deep. In 3, 2. Level 1s, we're going to go down and hold. Here, here. Either one works. A little more shoulder. Here. Level 2s, we're going to reach up. Level 3s, pulse. Sink lower. Pulse. Sink lower. Big squeeze in the upper back. Notoriously weak up there. Good job. Good job. We got beasts. Beast hold. Beast push up for 2s. Beast push up to pike push ups for level 3s. Get ready in 5. Nice wide fingers on the floor for a base. 3, 2, and we're up. Level 1s, we're holding. Level 2s. Take your nose or your forehead to the floor. Elbows in at 45. Again, knees are going to touch slightly at the bottom. Try not to let them rest there. Level 3s, we're up. Forehead, then back into our beast. Push up. Pike. Forehead. Beast. Nose. Here we go. We got sprinter starts. Left side. Level 2's high knee or kick. Level 3's jump. 5. Level 1's just going to step up in 3, 2. Here. Explode up. No matter the level. Explode those hips through. Lock the knee out. Level 2's aggressive high knee or kick. Just make sure you don't lock out the knee on that kick. Level 3's, we explode. Here. Boom. 5, 3. Let's go. Good job. Finish out number 4 here. Going to our beast switch. Beast step and plyo beast switches. We're going in 5. Get ready. And 3, 2. Knees up. Level 1s, we're stepping. Push away from the floor. 2s, 3s. Plyo. Let's go. Get off the floor. Get it moving. 10. Core tight. Eyes up. Fight for it. 2. Good job. 4 down, 2 left. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. Keep it up. Catch your breath. Let's go. Last few rounds. This is where it counts. This is where we get stronger. This is where we get better. Mentally engage. 30 seconds. Catch your breath. Get ready. $20 seconds. 15. Okay, we got speed squat and squat split switches. Get ready. In 3, 2, let's go. Quick feet. Get those arms moving as well. Level 1s, you're knocking out your speed squats. Fast you can. Let's go. Quick feet, 10. Almost there. Keep it up. 5, 3. There we go. Push-ups. Finish it out here. Let's go. On the downhill slide. 5. Scap push-up, knee push-up. Speed. 3. Let's go. Level 1s, regular. Level 2s, knees. Level 3s, scap. Level 1, scap or hold. Okay, we can just hold here, level 1. Nice and tight. Core is tight. Push right from the floor. You got 5. Level 3s, keep banging them out. Core tight. On the feet. Okay, we're going right side. 10 seconds into our lateral iso. 5. Get ready. 3, 2, down and hold. Stay deep. Again, we want that hip 45 or 90 degrees at knee height. Level 2s we're going to reach. Just go as high as you comfortably can. Big squeeze there in the upper back. Level 3s we pulse. 5. Keep it up. 3, 2, and we're out. All right, we got beast push-up. Working chest and shoulders today. 5 seconds. Level 1s holding. You can also hit a scap push-up there, level 1s. 3, 2, up. Level 1 if we want. Scap push-ups. Level 2s if you're getting fatigued. Hit your push-up, hit a scap push-up. Hit your push-up, hit a scap push-up. Okay? Or if we get tired, we just hold. When you're ready to go, hit some more. 5 seconds. Keep going. 3. Eyes up. 2. Good, on our feet. We got sprinter start, right leg. Steps. High knees. Plyo. Up off the floor. 5. Get ready. Come on, let's go. 3, 2, let's go. Pop. Explode it up. Fast twitch. Boom. Boom. High knee. Pop. Get that knee up. Past the hip. Hip flexor. Get it done. Kick. Explode. Let's go. Pop. 5. Keep moving. 3. Almost there. 2. Rest. All right, B switches. Finish at 5. 10 seconds. We got steps or plyos. We're going in 5. 3, 2, up. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Let's go. We got to keep moving. Almost done here. Go down to an easier level if need be. But let's keep moving. All 25 seconds. 10 left. Come on, 5, 3. Good job. 5 down. We got 1 left. 1 left. Finish it out. Catch your breath. Get that heart rate down. Little sips of water. Big breaths. More important here, make sure you're breathing out, getting all that CO2 out. We need oxygen as well, but we got to get that CO2 out. 30 seconds. Control. 20 seconds. Last round, stay with me here, let's finish it out. We got it, come on. 15, week 3, we'll crank them out. 10 seconds. Get ready. We got squat, split switches, or speed squats in 5. Get ready here. 3, 2, let's go. Last time through. Come on. Quick feet. Get it going. We're halfway. Stay up on the ball of your foot. Let's go. You got 5 seconds. Stay low. I'm creeping up a little bit. Stay low. Good job. 5 left. Push-ups. So level 1, we got pop, hold. Hold, we got scap push-up. 2s, knees, 3s, standard. Going in 3. Finish it out. 2. Let's go. Keep those shoulders down and back. If you get tired, go to that easier level. And then when you're ready, back up. Crank them out. Even hit scat push-ups here in between. You can always work that upper back more. Let's go. We got 5. Keep moving. 3. Almost there. 2. Good job. We're up. ISO lateral. We're going left side. 10. Nice deep hold. And 5. Catch your breath. 3, 2, down. Level 1s, we're just hanging out. Active left leg. Make sure that heel's on the floor. 2s and 3s, we're gonna reach. 3, you're gonna add the pulse. Pulsing up. Feel it burn. 10 seconds. Should feel better than last week though. 5. Let's go. 3, 2. Good job. 3 down. 3 left. We got beast. Hold. Beast. Push up. Beast push up. To pike push up. We're going in 5. Get ready. In 3, 2. Knees up. Again, level 1s we can hold, or we can go scat push up. Level 2s. Let's get down there. Elbows at 45. Don't let them flare out. Level 3s. You're gonna hit a beast and then a pike. Let's try and get the nose down, forehead down. All the way, full range, 5 seconds. Let's go. 3, keep moving. 2, all right, we got 2 left. Sprinter starts, left leg forward. 10, big breaths, get ready. 5 seconds, come on. Stay with me, 3, 2, we're almost done. Pop. Can even mix it up here. High knee, explode. Pop. High knee, explode. Keep it up. Explode through. Boom. 3. All right, last one. Let's do it. We got plyo. Step switches or plyo switches. Beast position. In 5. In 3. Get ready. 2. And we're up. Level 1, stepping. Level 2s, plyo. Level 3s, plyo. Try to keep the eyes on the horizon. Come on, we're halfway. Last one. Finish it here. Keep moving. We got 5 seconds. Keep it up. 3, 2. That's all she wrote. All right, good job, crew. That's 6 down. We got Wednesday tomorrow. Let's keep cranking it out, week 3. Good job showing up. Good job knocking it out. Good job owning it. Own it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Own it.